Scream and Vocal School, RMS Vocal Institute.
Hi everyone, Soren here from RMS Vocal Institute. Today I'm here to talk a little bit about accents, which will determine the sound character of our voice. So for example, we got the word rose. In Italian, rosa. In Danish, rose. Quite different. The O, for example, is more of an O kind of a vowel on the Italian one. In Danish, it's O, very airy like a consonant, at least like a voiced consonant. Then we have the R. The R in the Danish one r, is on the uvula, and it's what we call in classical terms or classical singing, we call it a flat R. In the Italian one, we have the r, the rolling R, vastly different. So when you see a new vocal teacher, talk to them about what type of a language that you want to sing with. Is it your mother language or is it English? If it's English, there's quite a few different accents there. We got the British, we got the Australian, we got the American, and even a few different American dialects. So really make it clear so we can make your vowels and your consonants as powerful as possible. So let's dig a little bit deeper into it now. There's a few anatomic parts we need to focus on, which is the jaw, the tongue, the lips, the nasal pharynx, twang, and the Adam's apple. I chose not to put more constructs into it, like the teeth, simply to make it easy for everyone to understand, even someone who just began their singing journey. But don't worry, there'll be something for everyone. We'll start with the jaw and do a simple ah. So, is it that simple? We have 3 different words here: hat, car, and bad. Did we notice anything different with the jawline? It shouldn't, at least, because if we do that, the sound character will not be an ah anymore. It will be either an e or something close to ah, 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 ah. It's not gonna happen, okay? So the jaw needs to open the amount the jaw needs to. And next up, the lips. We have 2 different types. When we look into vowels, we have unrounded and rounded. So the first one we'll do is an E and an oo. Did you notice any difference? And can you guess which one is rounded and which one is unrounded? Correct. The unrounded one was the E. The oo is of course a rounded lip shape. So what happens if we then make a rounded vowel unrounded? We know that the oo is a rounded one. So let's try to make that unrounded. Doesn't really sound like an oo anymore, does it? Next up, the nasal pharynx. In singing, we call it belting, a lot of the time at least. In speech, it's a little bit of another thing. It happens quite a bit with some specific words. Nah, those type of words, okay? Of course, it can be unwanted in speech if there's a lot of it. So it's not something like this. So it's not something like this. Or something like that. In singing, it can be very awesome and very beautiful, depending on what you like. And now that we're at the nasal stuff, we have twang, the sound character that sounds nasal but is not. It has 2 different characters. We have a high twang and a low twang. The high twang is what we can find in Bulgarian speech and singing. And the low twang is the one that I put in a box and call it the whiskey band from the bar, where, you know, the guy, he didn't drink water the past 20 years and only drank whiskey. That's the sound. And we will make a video about twang and about belting, but they do need a video on their own. And the final one is the Adam's apple. I know I'm hiding it. So if you're a female and your Adam's apple is basically undetectable, then you go a little bit further up, just basically start underneath your jaw, and until it stops being soft, then you go on top. Okay? Let's try with a simple word like mother. Mother. Your larynx went down. Your Adam's apple went down. So let's try to keep that set up. How do we do that? Well, we could just simply think that we're the biggest dude in the universe. Or keep that mother steady. Okay? But it's all about having these mental pictures. The people who can remember a whole deck of cards in the right order, they all say that they put a picture to each of these or a story. So let's try that. Make a little, I'm the biggest dude in the universe, or I'm Galaxis, or someone with a deep voice, Johnny Cash, whomever you like, or a deep, very low-pitched bel canto singer, or whatever. Use these pictures. It really, really helps. And let's try again. Put our finger on the Adam's apple and say hat. It jumped up. So that's our high larynx position, for example. That could be one of them. So my favorite way to remember the high larynx is the movie reference with the guy yelling, pizza pasta! That's my favorite one. And again, if you didn't like the exact spot, then move it up, move it down. We have to be flexible to be able to do as many different voice characters as possible.
Hello, excuse me, Soren. This is a place for metal and rock and distorted sounds.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Rocky. I almost forgot. When we are distorting our voice, it's the same principles. We stay in these different setups, if you may. So, for example, do you speak like this and do you expect to get a really, really evil, low distortion? Then you'll probably be amazed. You'll have to do something for it. So let's try to growl if I spoke and sang like this. Hi everybody! So when doing distortion, all of this stuff applies as well. So let's try a low setup instead. So, hi everybody, this is my voice. It's a whole other thing suddenly. That's why at RMS Vocal Institute, we first look at your speaking voice, your singing voice, and then we apply distortion. That's how it goes down. Otherwise, we might sound like the guy from Police Academy in 1984. The guy speaks like this! Or you might have this Kermit kind of thing that you want to remove because it's not what you wanted. So, I hope all of this helped a little bit. Otherwise, book a lesson at rmsvocalinstitute.com. See you there.